So here we are again, dear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wicked up here in northern Maine, yeah.
Yeah. It snows like crazy up here.
It's been freezing rain today. Now we're stuck in the house some more. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Up Maine, boy, that one month of summer is just wicked decent.
It's wicked decent.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
How to get them vegetables growing in a month, though.
That's all right. They're called dwarfs.
That's right.
Where do you think them cherry tomatoes come from?
That's right. Yeah, we don't got full-size tomatoes up here.
No.
We got to buy them up in Madison there.
Yeah, you got to import those. Yeah. Those come in on a truck.
That's right.
Yeah.
All the way from California.
Yeah, they come into that way, Skowhegan, ain't it?
Yeah, that's south.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's like that old joke they say, you say go to south for winter, so we went down to Portland for the winter.
Yeah, they got that longer summer there, it's like a month and a week. So an extra week really adds on. God. How sad is it I'm from Maine and I can't even do a Maine accent, really.
You're getting better, dear.
Yeah. You're from Illinois, which is...
That's right,
You've lived here too long.
Oh, hell yeah.
The assimilation is now complete. Fuck, you are a Mainer. Fuck. That's the sad thing. She does a better Maine accent than I do. You're from away.
Yeah. Wicked away, dear.
And we're back with you guys again, since we have not done a podcast or a show since well before Christmas. So, we figured we'd leave you guys alone, let you enjoy the holidays. They hear about their bullshit, it's like, but always.
And the whole world's exploded since then, dear.
No shit. The whole fucking world. I mean, I've always looked forward to the day where America became a third world country. And guess what? We're here.
Yeah.
Fucking
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Now, Dictator Trump has been voted out, so that's good.
That is good. Oh, he's going to go out screaming.
Yeah, of
Although
course.
He says he's not going to. I think it's really pathetic. He's going to give himself a military send-off.
Yeah.
It just sounds so Kim Jong-un to me.
Oh, big time. The whole thing just reeks of fucking, dictatorship. Oh, big time. Big time. It's like, holy crap. He's like so into the whole, North Korea military, honors and all that and whatnot. I mean, I expected it to be serving fucking stir fry on the curbsides from food trucks and shit, just for the full experience of the whole fucking Northern Korea shit, Kimchi for everybody! Christ, right? Yeah. I'm the greatest president that ever was. I can't do Trump, sorry. I can do lots of voices, I can't do Trump. So.
Well, you just have to put words in places they don't belong.
That's true. True.
We're going to win bigly. We won bigly. It was a wonderful, best presidency ever.
Yeah.
I'm the most amazing president ever.
Yes.
Of all time. All time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was no president before him.
No.
So, it's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, that's the sad thing is like, He
has radicalized people to the point where they're willing to kill.
Big time.
Which is terrifying.
It is.
And when they first broadcast what happened at the Capitol, they didn't show the throngs of people.
Right.
They were just showing who made it into the Capitol.
Right. The doors and windows and, people that ran up against the building and climbing the building and so forth, but they never pan-shot out across that whole mall area where the Capitol is.
It was like 10,000 freaking people there.
At least.
If not more.
Yeah. I mean, there was some of the estimates were talking 20,000 people. So, it was like amazingly, huge. It's like,
I don't believe that everybody was there to do violence.
No, but I think they just got caught up in the people that were there to do violence.
Right.
They kind of like, it's the sheeple effect. They go along with it or whatever.
Right.
Because it's like, well, they're doing it, we're going to do it and whatever. We didn't come here for that, but... who wants to feel left out at a, pro-Trump, whatever the fuck that was.
Pro-Trump rally.
Yep.
Well, I mean, they were trying to stage a coup, and they sort of succeeded for a couple of hours.
Yeah,
just
3 hours, yeah.
For 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because they weren't able to count the electoral votes.
Yeah, and that was the whole mission, was to interrupt the whole counting of the electoral votes. Like that was going to change anything.
No. They were just trying to get their voices heard.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing. I mean, sure, protests have their place
Right.
in history, and
Yeah.
they are important.
Yeah.
But I think it just went way too far because
Well,
those
yeah.
people were already radicalized. I mean, they were talking about, militia groups in Michigan and the Midwest and places like 20 years ago.
Right. Right.
So they've been just gaining momentum.
Oh, of course. It's like
so this was just like the perfect moment for it to just explode.
Right.
Seems like
2 words, sleeper cell.
Yeah.
Talk about sleeper cells with the terrorists and fucking, and
We
everybody
have
in
our own.
Afghanistan and Iran and all that shit that are just laying in wait, in our country. And we expect that from foreign countries to have people here with sleeper cells and whatnot and activate at certain times and stuff like that. And everybody's always worried about that.
Right.
Never once did we ever, as an American nation, sit there and never have to worry about our own people.
Right.
Having sleeper cells and pockets of sleeper cells and organizations and stuff like that live on the fucking dark web or wherever the hell it is that, meet in secret, fucking alleys and shit like that. I mean, this is way past the KKK shit.
Oh, yeah.
Way past that.
Right.
We have these fucking hate groups that just absolutely have been waiting for a fucking leader like Trump to make it okay to hate again.
Yes.
It wasn't making America great again, it was making America hate again.
Yes. I think that Ari guy, not Ari, who was the guy we were watching on
PBS.
On PBS this morning.
Shoot.
Amanpour.
Christine Amanpour.
Yeah.
Yeah, her show.
Yeah, I mean, he was right. Trump lies, Fox News' brainwashing.
Right.
Totally polarized our nation.
Right.
Totally.
Yep.
And social media is to blame for that. Just
of course.
By virtue of Facebook kind of started this, was it, I don't know what year they were online. And for a while it was just fun. It was a way to keep in touch with people.
Right.
And that
2004
was it.
Is when it was
2004. And
invented.
just like play silly games, throw cows and sheep at each other and share pictures, and it was free and it was cool. And now it's just a platform for haters.
It is. It has absolutely become nothing but a squawk box for hatred.
Yes.
It's like you got brother against brother, sister against sister, people fighting over the shit that they would never fight over if they actually had to face each other face to face.
Right.
I mean, again, it's like texting or anything like that. It's so easy to be an asshole.
Yeah.
When you don't have to face the person that you're doing. You the whole biting your tongue thing goes right out the window. It's like, oh no, I'm just going to type what I feel.
Right.
Bad enough that texting and things like that, things can be taken out of context anyway. You don't have the inflection of voice to know whether someone's kidding or not or anything like that.
Right.
But then you've got the whole added benefit of, I can tell this person off, or I can tell them that they're retarded or whatever.
Or I can have like
is.
a fake account and just be a complete fucking troll.
Yep.
And start shit.
Yeah, exactly. There's no benefit that comes from social media anymore because people are misusing it. And it's not the social media. That's the thing. People say, it's the social media and stuff like that. It's not the platform. It's what people do with it. It's
exactly.
It's the same as owning a gun. It's like you can own a gun and never, and fire at fucking Pepsi cans and beer cans and shit like that or whatever. You can go out and fucking commit a crime and whatever. It's all, the person who owns it. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not the weapon or anything like that that's in question. It's the fucking retard behind it.
Yes.
And I say that, very, very pointedly because, there's a lot of fucking just people in this country.
Misinformed, ill-informed people, but also it lets people, like, people who have strong opinions about things, so they find other people that are like that. Not that it's a bad thing, but it seems like it's just everything hateful has been magnified over the last 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. It's so much easier to do
that.
And
that guy was talking about how tribal.
Yes.
We've become very. Yeah. I mean, they did a poll, and I'm not sure who the pollsters were, but it's actually split in the country about whether we should impeach Donald Trump or not.
Right.
I can't even believe there's a split.
Yeah, they said
it's like 48 to
50 or something like that.
Or something like that. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Right, yeah. That means there's half of this country that we really need to, like,
Right.
Figure out where we're going to house them in an insane asylum. Because it's like, holy shit. I mean, that's a scary thought to know that half the population of this country
is not sure whether he should be impeached.
Right. For whatever reason. Yeah.
It's just... I can't even believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's back in 2016 when Trump was elected president and stuff like that. They did, one of the big things when I was living in the Midwest, I lived up in Iowa, Nebraska, and whatnot, and people out there, one of the big issues was that nobody really knew very much about Donald Trump, except for the fact that he was on The Apprentice and whatnot. He was on TV and stuff like that. Me growing up in New England, just like you growing up, here, we heard stories all the time about Trump and his businesses.
Right.
It was always in the news about something, about how he was, forcing fucking, African Americans out of his apartment buildings and shit like that, so he could turn around and fill them full of white people and stuff like that, just like Fred Trump did and stuff like that when he owned his shit and stuff like that.
And his bankruptcies and his philandering.
Right, all that. I mean, we had that education. We knew about this guy.
Right.
So we knew how dangerous he was going to be for the country. That this was not a fucking leader that you should ever put in power of anything. I wouldn't put him in charge of fucking Nike sneakers, on a fucking street corner, selling them off a cart, let alone a fucking multi-billion-dollar corporation or anything like that.
Right.
And the fact that he's such a poser when it comes to being a businessman because, he doesn't even own half the shit that he claims that he owns and stuff. He just leases his name out. And it's everybody else that runs it, and they have to pay him. That's how he made his money, in licensing. So that's how he made his money. Oh yeah, you can build a building, you can build a hotel and whatnot. Yep, you're going to run it, you're going to pay me to put my name on it and all this other crap, and this is how I'm going to make my money and whatnot. And of course he owed and he owed and he owed and he owed and he owed. And every time they built something, of course half the projects, he wouldn't pay his contractors, he wouldn't pay for this, he wouldn't pay for that. He was just a scumbag. New York scumbag from the word go.
Yeah.
And we in New England,
knew that.
Knowing about this guy, knowing his history, hearing all the news about it, knew what a dangerous, piece of crap this guy was going to be for the country.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, out in the Midwest, they didn't know that. They knew Warren Buffett. They knew the billionaire Warren Buffett. And people in New England would go, Warren Buffett? Well, who is that? Again, Warren Buffett, this is a guy who was billions of dollars or whatever, worth billions of dollars and whatnot. And when he retired from his businesses and stepped down and all that stuff, gave all of his money away. Yeah. So they're used to that type of billionaire.
Right.
Where opposed to Trump, the scumbag millionaire,
right.
They weren't used to that. They hadn't heard the stories. They didn't have the education about this guy to know how dangerous he was. He just pandered to their hatred.
Yes.
And that's the easiest thing, shooting fish in a barrel, to pander to someone's hatred, to pander to someone's dark side, to someone's sin, or sense of sin. That's the easiest thing to pull out of somebody. It's a lot easier to be bad than it is to be good. And he talked a good game. And he talked to these people where he just convinced them that he was going to take back our country.
And I think that's the reason why he did so many rallies, because he knew, he's not stupid.
Right.
He's smart enough to know that if he's there in person spewing his rhetoric and his bullshit lies,
right,
that people are going to believe that because he was there in person.
Right.
That's a very powerful change in the way a presidency has been run before, because you never saw any other presidents doing rallies all through their presidency. They only did that when they were coming up to the end of their 4-year term and trying to get another 4-year term.
Exactly.
So it's a very different tactic, and I thought it was obviously very powerful and very effective.
Right, and so played for the media.
Yes.
I mean, every moment he made sure he had a camera on him.
Because he's got his base convinced now that it's all fake news.
Yep.
And that whatever he says is what's right. What's true.
Yeah.
And they believe him.
Of course they do, because it's easy to. It's like, holy crap, get some fucking, NRA gun-toting fucking moonshine, making trailer park living person out of fucking Arkansas who's like, that's a guy for me right there, because he gonna take back our country and he gonna make it all right to kill and shoot and hang niggers again.
Oh yeah.
And all this other shit. That's what he played to.
Sure.
That's the easiest thing.
Woman-hating, racist, misogynist.
Course.
Well, that's the same thing as woman-hating. He's not really a woman-hater. But he's a misogynist, and he's racist.
Right.
And he's, what's the other word for... He doesn't like foreigners.
Narcissist.
Yeah. There's a word for, and I can't remember, there's a word for people who don't like foreigners.
Right, yeah.
So he embodies all of the worst aspects of Americans.
Of humans.
Of humans.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. And we have known this. That's
all the worst
sad
characteristics.
Things. Yeah, us in New England, we knew this about this guy. That's the thing. And everybody listening is going to sit there and say, well, it's just a bunch of fucking tree-hugging fucking liberals doing this show. Not true.
Not true.
I'm as conservative as they come. I'm a Democrat, but this has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican, Independent, Liberal, whatever. This has to do with the guy.
Yeah.
If again, another educational point for everybody is that before Donald Trump joined the Republican Party to run for president, all through his time in New York, he was a card-carrying Democrat. He gave money to Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
He was a Democrat. Because his daughter was a Democrat, and fucking Don Jr. was a Democrat, and all this. They only switched to the Republican Party to run for president. You know, go back and do your homework. People look it up. It's out there. It's definite truth to that. Is that he was a card-carrying Democrat. So he's
an opportunist.
Right. And it comes down to, again, it comes down to the individual. It comes down to the guy. If Donald Trump was a Democrat, my point being, if Donald Trump was a Democrat, and he was still a fucking scumbag.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter what your politics are. If you're a fucking scumbag, you're a fucking scumbag. And this guy was a fucking scumbag and had no business being voted the leader of a nation that had no idea what they were getting themselves into.
Right.
That's the big thing.
I don't think anybody in New England voted Republican.
I don't think so. I mean, I know the sad thing was Maine, one of the first times ever back in 2016, Maine turned to a red state. Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I'm in Iowa, and I was like, my home state just went red. Are you fucking kidding me? First time in fucking history.
Are you sure it went red?
I'm almost certain, because it's like we had Governor LePage here. He was a Republican back in those days. Right, yeah. He was always, Governor Brennan, I remember, Democrat. This Democrat, this Democrat, this Democrat.
Baldacci.
Yeah, all Democrats, kind of thing. Yeah. So it was Maine was a Democratic state because of the fact that it's a seafaring state. It's a worker state.
Yeah.
It's you got farmers and seamen here.
I got a bunch of transplants in Portland.
Yes.
Portland is the total melting pot, like Seattle.
Oh, it is. Yeah, definitely true. Definitely
but
true.
You go outside of Portland and it's like 99.9% white.
Yeah, it is. It really
weird.
is. Yeah, and the thing was, of course, Maine turning red and going Republican for the first time in decades and decades of me ever living here and so forth like that, was simply because you had so many tourists coming from other rich states that were coming here to buy and build fucking summer homes and stuff.
Right.
And then people would come here and they'd stay here and they'd vote or whatever, and whatnot. So we had a huge influx of, upper crust money, privileged money.
Yep.
So
if you're a Mainer, good luck getting any property by any body of water.
Oh, no kidding.
Especially the ocean. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Forget it.
Oh hell yeah. I mean, our house that we're in right now, if I was to go out and take a big steaming hot piss in the yard, and it made a big enough puddle, the fucking property value would go up. It'd be worth a lot more because it's oceanside.
No, it's waterfront. Well, there is a river up over the hill. You can see it from the top floor, so we could call this like waterfront property.
Exactly.
I've seen that bullshit before.
Yeah.
Like we were looking at a house down that was on it was like a short sale with the bank because it had been repossessed or whatever.
Right.
And it said water view, so we drove down this long, tree-lined, like in the forest, and I'm like, where's the flippin' ocean? Well, you had to go on the second floor in the bathroom to look out the window, and there's the ocean.
Yeah.
And it was like,
here's the binoculars that come with the house.
Exactly. But we're going to jack the prices up, The taxes are going to be like 3 times the amount because it's oceanfront property.
It is, yeah.
Not really.
No, it's not. It's like, looking out there, it's like, do you see it? Do you see it? It's like, it's, oh, I see it.
Oh, the tree moved, yeah.
Ah, yeah. Oh, smell that ocean air. Okay, yeah, we just went up $200,000. Yeah,
right,
exactly. Yeah, Maine is a very opportunistic state that way. The landscape and stuff is beautiful and all that stuff, but, when you get right down to it.
All the worker bees live inland.
Yeah, of course they do. Oh, of course they do. Yeah, can't afford the oceanfront property there, dear.
Not even lakefront property.
No, in fact, no.
Trailer will go for $150,000 if it's next to a lake in this city.
That's what I mean.
State.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the best if you're selling your house, the best you can hope for is your property floods. We've got a moat around our house.
Right.
Yeah, it just went to $1.5 million. Say Christ. You need a boat to get there, dear. To the front door.
That's right, dear.
You come back from
Can't
shopping.
get there from here unless you've got a boat, dear.
That's right. Yeah, that's when you know you're a successful Mainer. Yeah. You hit the big time up there.
Yeah.
People are getting a real education about our own state here. It's like, good Lord. They're like, well, I was going to visit to go,
But back to Trump.
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, because we were talking about that.
We were talking a little bit about the spiritual effect, the spiritual side of what is happening to us as a nation.
De-evolving.
Totally. It feels like that. We're going backwards.
Oh, absolutely. Shit. It's so true that way in that how... And it really, it scares the crap out of you to know that one person can change that much environment.
Well, Hitler... I mean,
right?
Maybe I'm wrong because I didn't study his trajectory in life, but didn't he hold a lot of rallies to get people to egg everyone on, just like Trump did?
Oh, of course.
He held a lot of rallies.
You do because you got to keep the message fresh. You have to keep the message constant. You can't take a break from that because if you do, of course, then people might stop and think for a moment and go, wait a minute, he might not be right. So you that barrage, that constant barrage of negative, imagery and messaging and all that stuff.
Yeah, I really feel like that's what Trump was doing.
Mm-hmm.
He is our Hitler.
Right. Oh yeah. And that may be harsh to say, and a lot of people are going to be pissed off about that, but it's like, prove me wrong. If you have a different opinion, write to our show.
Right.
Let us know. But put it in the comments on our YouTube channel. Or
he's an opportunist, so I would bet that he's been watching the political arena for a long time and commenting on it, and because he's an opportunist, he switched to Republican because he saw an opportunity to get elected.
Right. Shoot those fish in a barrel.
Exactly, and say, okay, I know how to manipulate these kinds of people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's enough of them that I bet I could get them all.
Who knows better than how to mentally check the boxes of a Republican, or billionaires or millionaires or anything like that, or rich people and whatnot, than to be one and be able to tick those boxes of fear.
Yeah.
And all that. So, yeah, it's definitely true. He's definitely not humanitarian.
No fucking way.
So it's that's so true about that. But like I said, anybody else has a different opinion or
he couldn't be more opposite from Obama. At least from the outside looking in. Obviously, absolutely. I don't know either one of them personally, but just from the outside looking in, he's the absolute opposite of someone like Obama, or even
judge them on the actions of their deeds.
Right.
It's the deeds.
But if we're devolving as a country,
right?
I think we're going to swing way back to the Democrat side of things. Yeah, I can't imagine the Republican Party is going to really survive very well through this.
Right.
Which is a good thing.
Oh, they're definitely going to be going through a restructuring phase, obviously rebuilding, as it were, when you have a.
Well, they get all those people that stuck by Trump until the very end, and then they offload like a bunch of ants on a moat. It's like, you're still complicit in everything that he did.
Right.
You can't just like in the 11th hour decide to abandon your party.
Right.
Sorry, it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
People have a long memory for nasty shit like that.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. This is definitely etched in the history books as being one of the fucking darkest years in American history.
It's sad.
It is. It's extremely sad.
And then now they're talking about he might survive. He'll if he survives all the court shit he's going to be in for the rest of his natural life.
Right.
He might actually try to start a third party.
Yep. Well, and again, it's a matter of, hopefully he won't be able to ever hold a public office like that again.
Well, I feel that's why they impeached him.
Right.
Because then he can never run for any office ever again, ever.
Right.
For anything like that.
Absolutely.
But he can still rally his base.
He can still influence,
He can still influence.
Yep. No kidding.
Because those people are ready to die for him, which is insane.
Absolutely true. I mean, you don't find that unless you go to a dictator third world country.
Right.
So.
What has he given them, really?
Right. Yeah.
What did he do for them that... and I wonder also, we were talking about the fact that the COVID happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of people at home losing jobs, losing money, getting evicted.
Right.
and
what better
feeling
way?
Powerless.
What better way to whip up people than when people are hurting?
Sure, absolutely.
You know, so they feel
Why do you think
disenfranchised.
Kim Jong-un keeps such a stranglehold on, you know?
Yep.
I mean, those people are starving over there.
No
Remember
shit.
that guy that ran over the border?
Yes. Yes.
He was like full of parasites, and
Yeah.
he was one of the military guys.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He doesn't even take care of his military over there.
It's
so
like Russia, it's like, you know, Iran or Iraq or whatever the hell it was, you know, and all them countries that are like that. You know,
people are
Libya.
stupid if they don't see those similarities.
Yeah.
Or they don't want to see them. They don't want to believe that's going to happen
Well,
here. But
dig
it's
out
happening.
dig out the, you know, the
History
freaking
books.
Yeah, the history books, you know, and look back and do some homework, because this is, you know, very reminiscent of those days
It
of
is.
dictatorships and all
and when
that.
you have all those people already feeling disenfranchised, and then
Right.
the COVID, and they're losing jobs, losing money, da 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 da.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a perfect fucking storm for him.
It really is. It really was. You know, that was it. You know, that was the perfect timing, the perfect everything
Yes.
to really, you know, push your agenda that way.
Yep.
So, you know, which is ridiculous because, you know, he's going to parachute out. He's still going to have his empire of shit and, you know, and all that stuff and his businesses
I
and
hope
all that crap.
maybe.
Maybe. Yep. So who knows who wants to do business with him, but at least we know half the population of this country still wants to do business with him.
Sure.
So, you know, that's who he's going to play
Although some
to.
of those people might change their minds when they stop and think, like,
Mm-hmm.
well, you know, we didn't intend violence.
Well, it's definitely time to get our dignity back as a country. I know that. Because we have lost that. Other countries are fucking laughing at us right now.
And you know, people comment from other countries all the time on stuff. It's like, we're so glad we live in Canada. We're so glad we're not.
Yeah.
We feel sorry for you guys. This is terrible.
Well, I mean, how sad it was that when I was 17 years old, I wanted to like enroll in the military and be in the army and stuff like that because I wanted to fight for my country because I believed in it.
Right.
You know? And that was back then.
Yeah.
You know, it isn't that things have changed as far as my thinking goes. The country has changed where, you know, even one of my best friends, you know, who did serve in Afghanistan, said, you know, that if he got called up again, he wouldn't go.
Right.
He's like, I have a hard time standing up for this country the way that it is right now.
Well, they don't even really take care of the military guys anymore. I mean,
No.
all those veterans that are homeless.
Oh, I know it.
We don't even take care. We don't even give them really good health care.
But when it changes your attitude like that, where you're willing to say, I'm willing to go and fight and die for my country to defend
like,
a
no.
country that is like, you know, free and has all this greatness about it. And then to come to find out now how our country, the state of our country is that you say, well, no, hell no, I'm not going to go and fight and put my life on the line for a country that's in such bad fucking shape.
Right.
When you've lost that drive or that image of
Right.
of what this country used to be and stand for.
Totally gone.
Yeah,
It feels like it's totally gone right now.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Biden and having a full Democratic slant on things will make things better.
Hopefully, you know, like I said, just to get the dignity back in the country would be
Exactly.
wonderful. But if anybody wants to share their opinions, they can. You can always email us at audioorgasmshow@gmail.com. That's audio, AUDIO, orgasm, ORGASM, show, SHOW, just in case people don't know how to spell it, at gmail.com.
That's that shoe.
Yes.
S-H-W.
Yes, SHOW, yeah.
S-H-O-W.
Yes, yeah. Definitely email us, let us know your opinions. We'd love to share them on the air.
Everyone has opinions these days, so,
Yep.
you know, and we could be off base, but my gut doesn't tell me.
Well, it's where we stand. You know, we've lived a long time in this country. We've grown up in this country. We've worked. You know, we put our time in. We put our, you know, we were entitled to our opinions. That's the great thing about this country. Is that we're entitled to the opinions, and we're entitled to people that have a different opinion. So
exactly.
You know, that's fine. We welcome it all. So definitely would love to hear from anybody out there that wants to share their opinions about our show, about the subject matter that we talk about, you know, and topics and so forth. Always, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we would love to hear about it, and you know, and we'll do a lot more shows on a lot more different topics, of course, you know, because it's
this is like just right in our forefront. We've been talking about it for days and days,
Yeah.
months, really.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we would love to hear from you. So give us, you know, an email or comment on our YouTube channel. You can put it in the comments and let us know. And we'd love to hear from you because, you know, it's always an interactive show.
Right.
And we talk about just about anything and everything.
Right.
So, yeah, absolutely. Whatever comes across our wild mind.
Yes.
Definitely. But yeah, and so we'll pick it up again when we do another podcast, hopefully sooner than later.
Yes.
And when we do, then we'll talk at it then, right?
Right.
All right. Well, until then, I'm Rick.
I'm Kirsten.
We want to thank you guys for listening.
Peace out.